As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to smash upon the like button. Come on. Shout out to the HBOs and the SGs out there. Please continue to do your job. We got options. I ain't talking about stock options. But we got to keep them open and stay open-minded, baby. Play it smart, plus more. As the room fill up, we're going to go over all of this. So lock in. Yup. Audio check, appreciate you. Shout out to you and you. Shout out to you, Jerry. Joseph, appreciate you. Clifton, Michael, appreciate you. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. As the room fill up, continue. Do Come on. Your job. Sharing is caring. We almost finished loading up. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. What's up with y'all, man? Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. My name is Law Nation. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. Of course, we got options. And of course, we would love for this team to win the Super Bowl, right? That's the number one goal, winning the Super Bowl, right? And I know a third of you guys will be saying, hey, Law, you shouldn't mention Super nor Bowl, you know what I mean, at all. You don't supposed to be talking those type of talks around here. It's supposed to be doom and gloom. It's supposed to be that we are not going to do X, Y, and Z. Are you tired of talking about the Cowboys? I wake up brushing my teeth thinking about the Dallas Cowboys, right? Now, shout out to each and every last one of you all for tuning in. I see that you guys been hearing news of Adam Thielen. He's out there on the streets. The Vikings are planning on getting rid of him to save some cap pressures, not just that particular team, because we already know Hendricks is out, right? And then we heard news or rumblings of Jalen Ramsey. They got a trade offer out there for him, and we heard about DeAndre Hopkins, right? We heard about that guy, and we did film analysis and film reviews on him as well. And do he have a little left in the tank? Do he don't? One thing I know for sure, two things for certain. He's better than Noah Brown. He's better than what we had last year. And no shade upon Noah Brown, you know. And shout out to Noah Brown, by the way. But DeAndre is also better than y'all. Come on and say it with me, y'all. James Washington. He's better than him, right? And when you bring in someone that's a little bit better than what you had last year, your team will be better. So 12-5 last year with the likes of Noah Brown, with the likes of as well as Michael Gallup coming off of an ACL situation. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, CeeDee Lamb, who went from this level to this level last year, right? We can all look back and say, all right, we trying to get better. All right, and the other side of the coin would be, what the world we going to do with the running back situation? How are we going to maintain that groove, Law? Do you get rid of Ezekiel Elliott? We know for sure Tony Pollard will be here for the 2023 season because they love those franchise tags, right? I mean, come on. They love those franchise tags, right?
Just drop them.
Trayvon Green, appreciate you, fam. He says that my guy shouldn't be worth a first round draft pick. Yeah, Hopkins, no way. Ain't no way. The Cowboys should give up that type of remunerations for him, right? And the last time Hopkins, just being objective with you guys, the last time he played the full season and had everything going right was the year 2020. What year it is now? Is it still 2020? No, it's the year 2023. So that's why I believe that there should always be some type of an agreement, right? I love contracts with incentive base, right? Incentive heavy contracts always will be wonderful for us, right? Whereas, and you know what? I think the NFL should buy into that. I think the NFL should buy into incentive base that contracts to save the owners, right? And to save the players, right? That I truly believe that the whole ideology of the salary cap was designed to help the owners so they won't go bankrupt, right? So they won't lose all of their coins. Well, I think that contracts should have guaranteed incentives in it. And that way, if the party get the incentives, the clubs got to pay for it. And if they don't get the incentives, at least the club don't have to sully and denigrate the player, what have you. And it's an even trade-off, right? So, and I know you can say, well, coaches can pretty much swash all of that by benching such and such, right? But it'll be clear as mud, right? So an incentive-based contract, you win these type of games, or if you have these type of numbers, your money will be hit on this type of level, right? But if you don't perform up to this level, regardless of X, Y, and Z, you will get this contract. Every contract should be two-folded contracts. That would really iron out all of this stuff, whereas the fan base is mad at said player, or the owner and the organization is mad at said person that's generating revenue, right? That would be a good situation. Now, I do know that some contracts are already incentive based, right? But I'm just looking at it from a bigger scope. But I would love for DeAndre Hopkins to have an incentive-based contract for the Dallas Cowboys, and he come over here, and if he don't hit that quota, then we left off the hook with some of the money that he will be getting. But he did come out and say, hey, I am willing to be flexible with my deal or contract coming soon, whoever pick him up. And I think, in my opinion, if you give up a second-round draft pick for him at the age of 30, they'll be okay. You know, it goes all the way back. When we got T.O., Terrell Owens, he was 33. He was 3 years older than this dude is right now. And I know T.O.'s a whole different animal. But, you know, that's just how it goes. Nevertheless, the Dallas Cowboys got options. We got plans. We got situations, whereas, in my opinion, where do we need more help at? Where do we need more help at? I would say this. We need more and more help on the offensive side of the coin, in my opinion. O-line, wide receiver, and of course, somebody going to be like, hey, man, you know, what about quarterback? But realistically, the defense is in better shape than the offense right now. I think that the defense is going to be even better than what they were last season. When I look back at last year's tape, I look at a lot of things, and some of the things that I do see from the defensive side of the coin is that those boys were eligible and ready to shoot, get upfield, do crazy things, even against the Rams, against Cincinnati. It's just that we didn't do enough on the back end of the season versus what we did on the front end. We fell off. We fell off completely as it relates to what we were doing on the front end. And let me see if I can find any tangible evidence for this. But you guys, I hope you guys get what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I think that the Cowboys, if we get back to being a physical defense, flying to the ball, chasing, rallying, hitting, getting back to those type of things, and also utilize the weapons that we had, I think that we will be in better shape than what we were last year. But we got to figure out how we can improve the interior on this defense. And when I look at tape of, like, let's say, for example, this is Navier Gallimore, who they are all high on. They said that they love his skill set and tape. Well, I look at Gallimore as a rotational piece. I don't think that he will be a starter guy. That's just my thoughts. But since the Cowboys are looking into this and saying, all right, well, with Gallimore, we see an uptick on him. We can work some things out. Well, I would tell you, this team, we should dive right into this free agency, re-up Jonathan Hankins, figure out who else we can add next to, and get this thing going. Shout out to you, Nick Burston. Appreciate you in the chat. I appreciate you all the way. And when you think of it, let's look at some of D. Law's tape, right? We can look at what he brings to the table. I know we've been looking into the draft situation. Look at him sack this $40 to $42 million quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He stopped the run on his $10 million running back over there. I think that D. Law and what he brings to the table is pure leadership, and his ability, when you look back at over all of the films of what he did for us, we can clearly say to ourselves, all right, well, how can we get better up front? Just get you another big boy down inside. I know it sounds simple. I know it do. But when we think about this, how far are we? We are pretty close, y'all. Now, let me pull up this tape right here. This is against Cincinnati. We all know Cincinnati, one of the top teams in the National Football League last year, right? But we and our defense harassed, chased, beat up the good old Joe Burrows. He couldn't even think. He was thinking that, hey, how many Cowboy guys are going to come after me? Look, this version of the Dallas Cowboys defense, we need to see it for 17 weeks. We don't need to see it for 6 weeks. We don't need to see it for 5 weeks. We don't need to see it for 3. Can we get 17? Matter of fact, can we get it for 20? And I believe how we can get there is play your youth, play your younger guys, and figure out ways, ladies and gentlemen. We do. This defense is closer to being elite than what most people think. We don't have to sell the form for it, right? Pay attention to this rookie right here, 54. What's his name? Can somebody put his name down in the chat? Because for some reason, the Cowboys got a little too cute, right? And on top of that, when we think about this, pay attention. This dude can stop the run. He was pretty good against the run on the edge. All we got to do now is basically we can go into this free agency, pick up a big defensive tackle, and then with the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Deonte Banks, right? You know, they can do those type of things, and this team will look even better than what they were last year. And just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about all of the things that we did on the defensive side, on the front end, and we just got slammed and hit left and right on the back end. But when you look at everything and you start paying attention, yeah, the defense. We was being close. We was being close to the 85 Bears. Not saying that we were, right? We need attitude, DBs. Yeah, Trayvon. Appreciate you so much, man, for that. Yeah, we do need that. We do need to have the mindset like we had on the front end. Yeah, shout out to you, Paul. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Can you guys do me a huge favor? Can you do me a huge favor? Hit that like button. Share this content. Yes, indeed. All right, so I was listening in earlier on 105. You know, that's like the station for all of the great information. Tolos, turn it on, leave it on. And Mark, what's his name? Mark Florio? Mike Florio. Florio. God dog, I'm messing up this man's name. He had a good piece on there, and I want to share some of the thoughts that he had about some of the things that's going on in the National Football League. But before we hit play on this, it seems as if, though, the Jets will figure out a way to have Aaron Rodgers, the guy that's been a thorn in our side for the last 5 or 6 years, right, or more. He will be going to the Jets, according to him. But let's listen to some of the audio, and we'll go back and forth from there. But if Aaron Rodgers do go to the Jets, there should be zero excuses for them. Just like I said when last year, Russell Wilson, when he went to the Denver Broncos, they supposed to have been in the Super Bowl. Well, if Aaron Rodgers go to the Jets, then they supposed to be in the Super Bowl.
Talk.com. So we want your legal expertise on the Michael Irvin thing, but this Aaron Rodgers thing right now is picking up steam as we speak. Diana Rossini saying they're getting even closer. You think this is basically a done deal, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets? Why is Green Bay just wanting to move on so easily? What are we talking about in terms of possible compensation? Where's this thing stand?
Well, look, I think this was a done deal the moment that the Jets brass got on the plane and flew to California. Right? They're not going there to vet Aaron Rodgers. They're not going there with all these different eyes to inspect whether or not this is the guy they want being their quarterback. They went out there to kiss his ass. When you are on the fence about whether or not you want to hire somebody, they come to you for the interview. When you pack up the team owner, the team owner's brother, the team president, the head coach, the GM, the offensive coordinator, and you fly across the country to him, you're trying to convince him to come to you. And the fact that the Packers allowed it to happen, think back to 2 years ago, the night before the draft, 49ers called the Packers and said, hey, any chance you trade Aaron Rodgers? And they laughed and hung up. Now, what are they doing? They're letting the Jets talk to Aaron Rodgers. They're ready to move on. And I think the Packers, I said this earlier on our show on Peacock, PFT Live, I said the Packers are kind of like the team that's up 4 points with 3 minutes left in the game, and they're just trying not to screw anything up. Like they're not saying anything. They're just kind of let this go.
Hold on. Y'all help me out. Did Brett Favre go to the Jets first or the Vikings first? I'm keep forgetting. This would be the same thing. Oh, my goodness, man. This would be the same thing, man, happening to them over and over again. God, dog. All right, so when you have a good resume and okay, Peg says he went to the Jets first. Wow, it's crazy how the world works, right? Now he's going, this whole situation will be the same. Like he's going to go to the Jets, right? And then what's his Love kid, right? He's been on the bench for about 2-3 years now, right? The backup quarterback for the Green Bay, who, Love, he's pretty good. He can throw the ball pretty good. I like his skill set. So it's about to be the same thing over and over again over there in Green Bay land, right? Nevertheless, I want to say this. When you have a good resume and people hear about you, and regardless of how I feel about Aaron Rodgers, I think that his overall resume and what he do for a quarterback spot is still good, right? Meaning that all what Florio is saying is 1,000% true. Never burn your bridges, ladies and gentlemen. Always keep a good resume with you, right? So when you are good, you don't have to look for jobs. You don't have to go out there and put your business and your information out saying seeking new jobs, seeking compensation, because someone will find you. Now, on the flip side of it, Lamar Jackson, no one is biting to the bait of him getting a new job. And Lamar Jackson is like 2 years removed from being MVP himself. And I think that the NFL, they kind of look at everything and they will say to themselves, you know what? It's time out for paying quarterbacks $230 million guaranteed. That's too much money. The market needs to figure itself out to be reset. So it's going to be alarming that, how all of this stuff will find its way out and what options teams are going to go with. But it's kind of intriguing now because time matters. Timing matters. That's just what it is. So when you have a certain situation, like what the Jets are eligible to do, because they had to understand that Zach Wilson, that was his name over there, right? Zach Wilson, right? They had to figure that out and say, okay, he's not a star caliber quarterback now, right? And the timing is just right for them to say, you know what? We will give up a first. We'll give up 2 firsts. We'll give up 3 firsts. We'll probably give up a first or a 4th or a 5th to get an Aaron Rodgers right now because they know who they got out of Zach, right? Timing is everything. Cowboy Nation, the reason why Cowboys didn't draft Aaron Rodgers, the timing. We already had a Tony Romo on the roster, right? And we was already trying to uncover and figure that out. So when he fell in the draft, there was no reason for us to trade up to get him. It was no reason for us to figure out, hey, this kind of caliber of quarterback is worthy to put on the silver and blue. No, the timing was all off. Sometimes teams fall right into the right spot with timing. It was necessary for Pat Mahomes to sit back and watch Alex Smith, right? Go through his preparation, go through his whole processes. It was necessary for him. It was also necessary for the Kansas City Chiefs to figure this thing out and say they're going to move up to get him. Timing. So let's see what else they got to say, and then we're going to talk about our team. But we try to include all teams so we can have context in these off season.
And they're just hoping that the Jets and Aaron Rodgers get sufficiently comfortable. More specifically, that Rodgers gets comfortable with the Jets, because I think the Jets have already written a check. They've already sold their soul. If Rodgers wants to do this, the Packers get to move on. They get to avoid $60 million in cash expenditure and cap space this year, and they get to pivot to Jordan Love after he sat on the bench 3 years, just like Rodgers sat on the bench 3 years before the Packers traded Brett Favre to the Jets. I mean, the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers career arc is identical right now. I would advise Aaron Rodgers to maybe deviate from Brett Favre's career arc at some point. But right now, it's unbelievable to think this trade is happening. If it happens, and it looks like it's going to, and he's going to end up with the same team they traded Brett Favre to 15 years ago.
We love your Lamar Washington, Dan Snyder theory. Love it. But crap. I want to know your reaction to all these teams lining up to say no Lamar, and how much are you buying into the collusion theory on the internet?
Well, the collusion theory is rooted in what happened last year after the Browns gave Deshaun Watson a 5-year fully guaranteed contract. They were part of a 4-team competition. They were the first team that was told you're out, and they had already pissed off Baker Mayfield, and they got desperate, and they cooked up the 5-year fully guaranteed contract as a way to swoop in and win the day. The reaction to that, including Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti, who publicly said this is going to make it harder to do business. You know, when that happens, and think of it this way, people say, well, how does collusion happen in the NFL?
How?
They get together 4 times a year and have meetings. Yep. It's like the CEO of McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Arby's all getting together 4 times a year to talk about how they do business. Why are you doing that? You're competitors.
Let me pause right here. And let me play my conspiracy music. Great analogy, Florio. But here's where the holes are at. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about the ones that's on the streets. We talking about the other holes that's in this argument. Is that McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, they don't do this one thing. They don't share revenue. And when you have revenue sharing, amongst all 32 owners, meaning that they all split the pie. They do. That, yes, colluding and all of that other stuff, man, is more prevalent in the NFL or the NBA, etc. Because now we can literally see it's all about the bottom line. It's about the bottom dollar. And it's quite strange to me that even if you look at the quote-unquote franchise tag, the running back spot is a lesser of value than, dare I say, the safeties or the defensive backs or any other spot that's on this team or any team. Why? Because they know that, hey, with running backs, you can flip them around. You can change them like baby's dirtiest diaper. You know what I'm saying? And, ooh, you stink, but now it's time for me to change you out, right? And there go my baby. And the reason why I'm saying this is, Law, what are the franchise tag value rate for safeties, right? One can argue safeties or safeties and linebackers are the running backs of the defense, but they are valued higher. So when we look at all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, I would tell you right now that, yes, they don't like that Deshaun Watson contract. 5 years, $230 million guarantee. Because the one thing that I know for sure, these players, they're looking across the street there, and they're looking across the street over there, and they're going to say, I want that. I want that. I want that contract. And then the moment you say, nah, man, that was just the Cleveland being a fool and an idiot. Well, that don't have nothing to do with me. I want that, right? The football players are like when I saw a Chris Rock special many of years ago. He said that, hey, when a woman sees something that she want, and she even see her best friend with that said dude that she like, she can be like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I want him. Sometimes, and I ain't talking about all ladies, but that was his stand-up comedy. Shout out to Chris Rock. But he was saying it just like it is. That sometimes these players are thinking the same way. They don't want something similar. They gonna want that. See, the fella's gonna be like, yeah, man, she bad or what have you. Man, but I know for sure we can find another one. Or a woman gonna be like, I want him. Just type in Michael B. Jordan. He's all over the screen. Every woman is out there saying, yeah, I got this man, but I want him. Or the Majors guy, Jordan Major, whatever that guy's name. They want him. But it is what it is. So when these players are sitting down, they sitting across the street, and they sitting there looking at Deshaun Watson, and they saying that, shoot, if he's able to get $230 million guaranteed over there in Cleveland, shoot, let me get that too. I want some. I want me some of that. I want me some of that. I ain't gonna hit the glory hole, but let's listen to more what they had to say.
See, these businesses are supposed to be competitors.
Right.
They get together and compare notes on how they do things. And when it becomes clear through the conversations, can't prove it, no one's ever going to admit to it.
Right.
But when it's clear that this is frowned upon, nobody wants to do a 5-year fully guaranteed contract with a quarterback. And I think that teams are closing the door before Lamar even gets to the porch because they don't want to hear him say, I want a 5-year fully guaranteed contract before they know. So they're preemptively saying no. So no one can say, oh, well, he asked for a 5-year fully guaranteed contract and you said no. And all these teams said no when he asked for a 5-year fully guaranteed contract. They're trying to avoid it. They're trying to short circuit it. I think that's why it's played out the way that it has so far. But again, it only takes one team. And I like that you guys are on my Commanders theory because it makes the Commanders better,
right?
Clearly. It sticks the next owner of the Commanders with the bill. And it gives Dan Snyder an opportunity to give the powers that be in the NFL the middle finger on the way out the door.
Man, these billionaires, they know how to do these things, man. I can go back and use the Tony Romo story. I can use that one. there were 3 teams that was willing to give Tony Romo a chance after the Cowboys released him. According to NFL, Tony Romo never officially retired from the NFL. There were 3 teams: Houston, the Denver Broncos, and the Washington Commanders. Those were the 3 teams that wanted Tony Romo. And you know what? Jerry might go to his grave, but he probably picked up that phone and called CBS himself and said, hey, I got a young phenom. Wonderful guy, brilliant. He just need a little grooming, but he can be your anchor or analyst or whatever he do over there at CBS, your play-by-play. He picked up the phone. Who gonna tell him no? When he can say, hey, well, the last agreement that you guys got, I stood on that board and I asked to have y'all to showcase, and I hope I ain't talking too much, you know what I'm saying? The Cowboy games more on Prime. And then it's like, yeah, I feel you, but we kind of like this guy. But hey, remember, I tell you what, there's a knock at your door. And the CBS execs, they opened the door and there was a package, and they opened the package up. Oh, Tony Romo? Oh, okay, all right, cool. You know, hey, he would now be next to the other guy. You know what I'm saying? He will be doing the play-by-play calling, you know? Because that is how that goes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Who saw the movie Shawshank Redemption? Who saw that movie many moons ago? Who saw that movie? And they had the whole conversation about using some of the guys to build the trenches or build the railroad tracks and knock down some more trees. And he was like, hey, I need for you guys to be on this side of the field, and we need more and more workers. And he like, man, I can't do that for you. And then they slided the warden a pie, and they said, hey, this is my wife's pie right here. And then that warden opened up that check. He said, oh, okay, yeah. Y'all can keep using them for a couple more months. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how y'all think business. If y'all don't know anything else from me, if y'all don't want to hear anything else from me, trust and believe. That's how it goes down, man. That's how it goes down. That is how it goes down, man. They be showing a little truths in these movies, man. I'm for real.
Do you really believe Tom Brady is just a kitten owner at this point, or is he actually going to come back?
I believe that at some point in June or July, he's going to wake up and say, what have I done? I still want to play football. He said on his podcast he still wants to play. And Jim Gray, who co-hosts the Let's Go podcast with Tom Brady, said to him at one point, you know, you said that you'll retire when you suck, and you don't suck, so why are you retiring? Yeah. And Brady said, and I quote, I believed it when I said it. And you know what dawned on me the other day, guys? That is a powerful license to say whatever you want to say. It's the George Costanza, it's not a lie if you believe it. It's next level. I believed it when I said it. It was true when I said it. It's no longer true. Right. But it was true when I said it. Yeah. And I just don't rule anything out with this guy. And I think once he processes time with his family, and especially if it's the Dolphins, because 2 of his kids live in Miami, you know, I think the 49ers at some point may wake up and say, we got Brock Purdy with the messed up elbow. We got Trey Lance that we're not sure we can trust. Why don't we finally say yes to Tom Brady, because he's been trying to get there, I believe. Definitely in 2020 he wanted to go there. And I think something was going on last year, too, once the Dolphins' door got slammed in his face after the Brian Flores lawsuit was filed and the Dolphins couldn't proceed with Tom Brady and Sean Payton. But I'm not ready to say this guy's not coming back. And whether it's June or July, whether it's injury happens to a starting quarterback early in the season, whatever it may be. You know, I always thought Brett Favre would do a Roger Clemens half season at some point, and he never did. I could see Tom Brady doing something like that if the right opportunity arises. And who knows? Maybe I've said I'm not going to believe he's truly done until he doesn't play for a full year. Maybe with him, I'll say that I'm not convinced he's truly done until 2 years go by without him playing.
And your website 4 minutes ago just tweeted Scott Zolak, Patriots broadcaster, former Patriots QB, says Brady playing for the Dolphins is definitely 100% in play.
Wow.
Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com here on the Fan. All right, your legal perspective on the Michael Irvin case and Michael's press conference yesterday.
All right, before he go, speaking of the Michael Irvin case, I hope all is well with the Irvin family, especially being emotionally drained like he was at the press conference and liken it to the 50s and the 60s. Of course, you know, we all go through that as people of melanated skin, you know what I'm saying, darker hue or what have you. And I know a lot of people gonna gloss over it and tap dance over it and things like that. But I'm from Mississippi, and recently, less than 18 years ago, they took a guy and drug him from one county to the next, right? And it's sad world that we live in. But for him to go into those levels, some people would never be able to identify those type of pains or horrors. And for Michael Irvin, he was saying that he was blessed to be around guys that said, you know, we vouch for you. You know what I'm saying? We was right with you, dog. If those dudes never said, yeah, man, you know, Irv didn't say anything to that lady, Irv would have been hung to dry, literally. Now, not from a case in a situation that he would lose his life, but I'm talking about from a career-wise. And now Marriott is not saying that, hey, we don't want to give the tape up and things like that, even if the judge ordered the tapes. Now all of a sudden the tape come disappearing and it's not going to be there, etc. But I feel what Irvin is saying, right? I understand what he's saying. I've heard stories of what happened, right? Similar to those approaching innocent man being accused of something when all what he was doing is being polite. This is crazy. I truly believe for those who are out there falsely saying that something happened to them, and I think that the inverse of whatever afflictions that would have happened to Michael Irvin should be counted upon the lady for doing whatever she accused Irvin, the playmaker, of. Because, yes, of course, she don't have $100 million. Marriott does. Marriott should pay up. I think that $100 million is too cheap. I think that Irv should get $250 million for scraping this thing all together and refusing to just being and just being the bigger person and saying, you know what, we apologize. We reacted, you know, too swiftly without all of the information and evidence. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. But not many people will understand what Irvin is saying, right? Not many people. But neither here nor there. Let me hear it from, you know, from the perspectives of Florio or what happened. But Marriott is trash for that. And I love him. I'm a Marriott member over here. You know what I'm saying? When I travel, I love to go to the Marriott. You know, I love the customer service. Never got viewed upon like what Irv did. You know, shout out to Marriott. Y'all want to make up on some things. You know, my business address is in the description box of this video. Y'all can send me some coins. You know what I mean?
Well, when I got the notice of the press conference, and I remembered that Tuesday was the day that they were due to get information from Marriott, my first conclusion was they must like what they got.
Right.
You're not calling a press conference to say, well, you know what, based on everything they gave us, they're right. And Michael apologizes, and we dismiss the case. So I think that what they got from Marriott, they liked. And Marriott is acting like a company that has something to hide here. They have been kicking and screaming when it comes to not giving up the surveillance video. And then what I gleaned yesterday was when it was time to turn over the video, they told Irvin's lawyer, we're not giving it to you. We'll let you see it. Michael can't see it. We'll only let you see it, and we're not giving you the video because the lawyer said that he filed a motion yesterday to force them to actually give him the video. So they have been very reluctant and recalcitrant and combative unnecessarily. And I know they have a defense like we don't really own the hotel. It's just our name on it. I don't know if that's going to fly.
No.
The bottom line is somebody apparently overreacted.
Yeah.
Somebody instigated with NFL Network a complaint that got Michael Irvin pulled from the Super Bowl week coverage. And the one fact that I think is very important to remember here, Marriott is a longtime sponsor of the NFL.
Ooh.
And my guess is that the NFL was willing to jump when they got a complaint from proud sponsor of the NFL. And this is part of what you learn through the discovery process. How high up the chain of Marriott did this go? How many alarms were sounded? And how high up NFL Network's ladder did it go? Because when they and hey, NFL Network may have some liability here at some point if Michael Irvin chooses to pursue it. But man, it sure feels like somebody dramatically overreacted based upon
what it was,
the representation of what's in that video, the accounts from the eyewitnesses that Michael Irvin had participate yesterday, and those guys have all been named, I think, in court papers. I feel horrible for Michael Irvin because I feel like somebody made a rash decision, acted on it prematurely, and now the question is, can the legal process be engineered in a way that gets him a fair amount of compensation for what he, by all appearances, unnecessarily endured?
So you're feeling great if you're Michael or his attorney.
Well, you're still upset that it happened.
Yeah. Right,
That's the thing. When
you can't put it back together. You know, it's a broken vase or a broken glass, and you just got to go get you another one. But we talking about a human being, and you just don't know the ramifications. It goes all the way back to a movie I seen many a moons ago, Enemy of the State. Real good movie. Will Smith, Gene Hackman, real good movie. The higher-ups had leverage over him, right? Because they thought that there was something on the tape, right? that he had, right? But he really didn't have the information. He wasn't aware of the information that he had on the tape. But it goes down to what's on the tape. Is it tangible enough to get me fired? Is it enough information for me to lose my job, right? So now when the Irv people was like, hey, man, well, let me see the tape too. What's on the tape? You know, because it proves that I'm innocent. Marriott looked at the tape and said, you know what? God, dog, this man is innocent. This man, shoot, we can't find nothing on this dude. We can't find a single issue with what he said. But we done already jumped the gun. We done pulled the red lever, right? We done told the NFL because we was 1,000% on the money that he did what he said he did. And then all of a sudden, the truth, and I told you guys, the truth takes its time. The truth wobbles out of the bed late. The truth put on the shoes, you know what I'm saying? The house slippers, walk around. Don't even brush the teeth first. Go make a cup of coffee. Sip the coffee, read upon all of the lies that's in the press clippings in the newspaper. And then the truth said, all right, I'll be damned. Let me go wash my face and brush my teeth. As a matter of fact, let me go take a shower, right? The truth takes its time. And while we waiting on the truth, why the truth is late? The truth is always late. You know what I mean? And then when the truth finally get here, you be like, God, dog. The truth just sits down and be like, all right, say what you said, lie. And the lie can't stand the truth, right? But by that time frame, everybody believed in Santa Claus. Everybody believed that Christopher Columbus discovered America at that point. You know, all of the lies that have been traveling all over the world, right? That already established itself. But the truth just takes its time. Nope. There's no such thing as Santa Claus. You know, if it was, he wasn't that big. He's a little old twig. You know, Christopher Columbus didn't discover something that was already here. You know, and the truth just take his time, and it hurts those who lean so heavily on it, who willing to fall back on the lies. Right? So many people will be going to their graves only knowing the lies, because the truth just took his time. But by the time the generation and the generation below you, you know what I'm saying, realized and said, God, no, Granddad was right the whole time. Shoot, we got family history that was here in these United States in 1610. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my goodness. Granddad was right. But that doggone lie, shoot, it's prevalent. I think I'm speaking too much right now. Let's hit the play button.
You have any type of civil case, you're always better off not having had the thing happen that caused the lawsuit, right? Whether it's an injury or you had a job that you lost, anything that's bad enough to justify a viable civil lawsuit, it's better if it didn't happen. So there's nothing for Michael Irvin to be happy about. But as it relates to the lawsuit, there's been nothing so far that has caused me to say, Michael may have a problem, other than the fact that he spoke publicly when he should have said nothing early on. We talked about that.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said anything
4 weeks ago. He shouldn't have said anything because it's clear that his version of whatever happened is unreliable because he was drinking and he doesn't remember. But we're apparently becoming aware of other evidence that makes his testimony unnecessary, that there's nothing that should have caused anyone. I've seen nothing. I've heard nothing that should have caused anyone to complain about Michael Irvin. And, guys, I'll tell you this. If Marriott had something that was a smoking gun, we'd know about it.
Oh, we would have been all over.
Last thing, any
TMZ would have
smoke to the Cowboys and DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Ramsey,
this is the part I wanted to hear.
Odell Beckham, as we're all getting ready for the Dak extension.
Well, they've made it clear that they're still interested in Odell Beckham. The problem is I think Beckham's going to want more than he should get at this point because he needs to reestablish to the league that he can still play at a high level before he can get the kind of contract he wants. The number that was being kicked around last year was $20 million a year.
Gallup's contract.
DeAndre Hopkins is definitely available, but
Well, hold on. That's north of Gallup contract. My thing is, I like what Odell Beckham should be able to do. But he falls under this category right here.
What I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
I don't know, man. So I would be looking at Odell saying, hey, you can you do us a huge favor? Let us get you for 1 year, and we will put incentives all over it, right? So if you're really banking on yourself, if you really believing in yourself, then you should be able to hit these numbers, and we will pay you. You know what I'm saying? We will pay you right now, but we can't just go on a limb and pay the unknown. We can't. We like you, but, man, we don't love you like that. Man, you can go to Eagles land. You can go to the Giants, back to the Giants. You can go to the Steelers. You can probably go to the Jets. But we ain't finna just give you $20 million. No, Jones family don't roll. We don't roll like that, man. Now, if we did, we would be like what we were 30 years ago. But look, that ain't what we trying to do.
I ain't trying to be like 30 years ago. I ain't trying to make no comeback. I'm gone, and I want to stay gone.
Shh. Iceberg Sleb says, hell no, I got a baby head, I got a baby mama drama and all that other stuff. Yeah. So what I would tell Odell Beckham, hey, we got this nice little incentive contract. I know you trying to get back. You're 30, man. You know, we got the young CeeDee Lamb. We got Gallup. We were trying to bluff him a little. Hell, we got Gallup, man, and we got Jalen Tolbert, you know, and whoever we draft in the draft. If we get Zay Flowers, then that's a whole nother conversation right there. You know what I'm saying? We got the Odell Beckham 2.0, you know? Not saying that he is, but, hey, I would lean on that optimism versus paying the man $20 million who's coming back from 2 ACLs, right? What we finna be, the ACL boys? Shoot.
It was $20 million a year. DeAndre Hopkins is definitely available, but you better be ready to pay him on the way in the door.
No.
Rams.
Hold on, Florio. DeAndre said he will be willing to negotiate his money on a downward spiral based upon what he did in the last 2 years. So when I look at DeAndre last 2 years stats and numbers and accolades, see, DeAndre playing it right. DeAndre like, hey, y'all give me over there to the Cowboys. Hey, Cards, y'all take the second round draft pick. Hey, y'all set me up for my final contract. I will play on the 1 year deal, and then we can re-up afterwards. Sure, after we win the Super Bowl, I don't care what happened. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre, hey, dog, you were good for us, man, but I appreciate you. Coach Marv with the super chat, man, I appreciate you, you know. But that's just how it goes. I think that's how it is, too. Coach Marv says, Law, could the Cowboys be using the news of Hopkins to bring down the Odell price? Because they really don't want to trade that pick, you know. Let me see. You're right, Coach. They could be using that news. Here's the mind game that I do know for sure, Coach Marv. And if I played in the National Football League, I would be doing the same thing. And yes, the phone lines will be open as soon as we finish this up. And you guys feel free to call in now to hold your spot. But here's my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. If I played for the National Football League for any of those teams, and I'm a free agent, I'm telling my agent, put my name close, near, or right beside the Cowboys. Say that I'm willing to go to the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. I grew up, all of my Lego toys were Cowboys. My first fire truck was red. I smashed it and painted it blue and silver because that's how much I love the Cowboys, right? I was the only kid that had a silver and blue fire truck. You know, that's how much I love the Cowboys, right? So ain't nothing in my room is red. I love the Cowboys. Tell my agent that. Tell the agent to call Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Charlotte Jones, Jones Jr., Sparring Jones, whatever the other Jones are, whatever. I forgot the other kid Jones, but all of the Jones, you know, call them all. Charlie Jones, I don't care. Let them know that I'm coming to Dallas by hook or by crook. That'll be the first line of business. The second thing to do would be for what the Cowboys doing. The Cowboys do a wonderful job of doing the inverse of that too. We are really high on Bobby Wagner. We are really high on Brandon Cooks. We were really high on Jerry Jeudy. The deal came this close for us inking the paper, put the ink on the paper. Oh, we just couldn't come to agreements. We was high on the Honey Badger, right? The Cowboys been more high on players than Randy Gregory career.
Smoke weed every day.
We've been high on players. We really like Earl Thomas, you know, and that was a bullet that we probably dodged, right? But I'm looking at all of those things, and they know how to spin it, and that's how the Cowboys do. They know how to spin that thing all the way around, and before you know it, you'll be sitting back there saying, hey, man, we good. We like our guys. We beginning to be hypnotized with the Cowboys because they know how to. Look, there was not a single soul that can change my mind around this time after the draft on Jalen Tolbert. Y'all was saying, hey, man, Jalen Tolbert, shoot, watch out. He's a 4-4 guy, high point the ball from South Alabama. Shoot, he's going to be the steal of the draft. Watch, y'all. Shoot, third-round draft pick. Shoot, a lot of people had him high up there. And then what happened? Let's listen to more of what he had to say.
Are available. Common reason. They want new contracts. And Hopkins technically is making $27.5 million a year, but this year he's making $19.5, and he's seen the market go haywire. He's going to want a new contract. Jalen Ramsey, there was talk last year early in training camp, maybe just before the start of the season, about Ramsey wanting a new contract. That subsided because he still had 4 years left at the time. Now he has 3 years left. I think he's going to want a new contract.
Shout out to you, Matt.
You better have a way to placate these guys financially if you bring them to town. And I know Jerry Jones has been talking about them making a big move in free agency, but don't just go chase a star. You want to get somebody who's going to make the team better and help the Cowboys get over the hump. At least put them in a position where they can beat the 49ers if they meet them again in the playoffs.
The Godfather, Mike Florio, father of mine, a mob book, April 25th for $4.99.
$4.99, man. I can't wait for my ebook to come out too, man. I'm coming out with an ebook soon, so y'all be sure to check that out. All right, so with that being said, oh my goodness, man. That is from 105.3 The Fan. To check out that complete episode and video without me pausing and rewinding and everything, click that link there. And if I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart, or call in, because we finna open up the phone lines, brought to you by Mint Mobile. Your phone solution at a low price. Use promo code LAW. That's simple. LAW is the promo code for Mint Mobile. Let's go. Mint Mobile, 657-390-7391. Come on. Yeah, shout out to you. I got my guy Matt. Matt says, what's up, Law? Always make my day. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad that I am, man. Yo. Shout out to Mint Mobile. Let's go. That's the best way to support the nation, baby. It's support me via
participants in the conference.
The sponsors. Appreciate y'all so much, man. All right, and as this room fill up in the chat area on the phone, we would have freestyle. We could talk about anything and whatever you guys would love to talk about. But let's get this thing on and popping with the guy that's look. He's always having a perfect attendance on the phone line to this offseason. We got Coach Marv, man. He's live from the 803. Coach Marv, you're live. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Lord. Listen, man. Let me tell you what the Cowboys doing to people, man.
What they
Tell you
doing?
what the Cowboys doing. Listen, I'm asking you these questions. Your answer you'll figure it out. How many other teams say they're interested in Odell Beckham right now?
None, man. I don't see many teams.
Right.
None, man.
Done. So, and the only person that said Jared done put out there that we definitely going to address this. So now he feel like he's valuable. He's putting out posters to get the Cowboy fans happy. So
one hand catch. Yeah.
So you don't have a market where someone's setting the market for him with another team. So you have to create a market for him. You have to create some disturbance with him. So now the Hopkins thing is a perfect storm. Oh man, we talk about the Hopkins thing, and now Odell has a decision. either I want to get in with the Cowboys because that's a big stage for my marketing, or I don't have no other thing, so I can't ask for $20 million. I may ask for 12. If I ask for 12 and tell them a 2-year deal, they'll take. Listen here, the Cowboys will take Odell Beckham at 12 before they trade a pick and take Hopkins and have to work a deal down, because with whatever deal they work down, he ain't taking less.
Yeah,
he might spread it out, but he ain't taking less. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
you where you can work and spread it out.
A 3-year deal, like he would renegotiate his contract for a 3-year, maybe 18 to 20 million. That's what Hopkins would probably do. But he won't do a 3-year because he's getting 27, and I know he's gonna get 19 million this year. So I don't know what, man. It's going to be a tricky thing with that money.
And see, now they get, if they can get Odell, but when they talking to Odell, now they looking at Odell and say, okay, we're gonna take a shot at Odell, but we know if we can get Odell at 13, 12 with a 3-year deal, keep our second round draft pick, and then draft Odell replacement. If he doesn't pan out, they just they using Hopkins and Odell against each other. That's what they're doing. They gonna take the cheapest route. I'm telling you, whichever one is the cheapest, that's what they gonna take. We could be all this stuff. We could say if Odell wasn't not in the picture, I would say Hopkins. Yes, I think they. But they're not. They don't want to give up draft capital. And listen, as Cowboy fans, if Odell is 70% or 80% of what he is. Mm-hmm. As Cowboy fan as me, I'm happy with you get Odell for 12 and then still keep your draft pick and don't have to give a draft pick to go get because your number one receiver is CeeDee Lamb. You're asking the guy to be a number 2. So you're not asking the guy to be a number 1. So 80% of Odell is enough a number 2 that we need.
Yeah. I mean, you're speaking some valid points here. So, yeah, at 10 to 12 to $13 million, yes. Give me Odell. Give me what you paid for Dalton Schultz for Odell, and figure out how you can go into this draft another young tight end, or scoop up a young tight end that's in the free agent market, and or Hayden Hurst or someone like that, and keep it rolling.
Or Tolbert, you got now. You get Tolbert come along, you're good. But see, they're gonna take with it. And I'm telling you another thing they're doing out there.
What they gonna do?
Let me give you another one they're doing. Mm-hmm. All this report out there about they love Melo Gallimore, how his tape look. It ain't look good because you deactivated half of you. He didn't even play in the playoff game. So they're saying this: we're not gonna cut him, but we got to pump him up if we're gonna try to trade him.
Oh, so they been listening to us. They finally, because you know what? Because I was looking at it, and I was looking at Gallimore tape, and I said, oh, Gallimore was good like week 1, week 2-ish, right around that time. Then he fell off the face of the map, right? So I was thinking like, oh, the Cowboys are coming out openly saying that, hey, he's been good, and they see him ascending. Oh, my goodness.
Remember in the middle of the season, when they were talking about, people were thinking he erased all his Instagram, so they thought he might be cut because he was inactive a week. And then he ain't really get inactive too much even more during the season. They're pumping him up because they don't want to cut him. They might, if we pump him up and say he okay, somebody else might say, okay, if we do have to trade a pick for D Hopkins, we can get a backup, maybe a 5th round pick for Melo Gallimore, and we still bring draft capital. So they gonna pump him up before they cut him. But you can't tell me that they talk about he's doing good because the film don't lie.
It don't, man. Coach,
now they trying to do this. Yeah, that's all that. Those 2 players, I see it, the handwriting on the wall. They gonna pump this D Hopkins thing up. But Odell has got to make a decision because there is no other market for him, and he's going to probably want to be in Dallas. That $20 million number is falling every day that there's a word about D Hopkins. It's coming down $2 million every day.
Well, we'll find out, Coach, man. That's a good observation, man. I thank you so much for calling in, for bringing that to my mind, man. I appreciate you so much, Coach.
All right, Law. Have a good one, brother.
Good call from Coach Marv, y'all. All right, so let's give him a round of applause because I didn't even think of it in that way, and I love when you guys. That boy good. That boy good. All right, so we got Aaron from Long Beach, and then we have MJ, the other Marv. And I see Brandon, so hold tight. All right, so Aaron, you're live, man. Talk to me, man.
Yo, Lord, how's it going?
Man, well, man, I can't complain, fam.
Indeed. So I just got a question. Like, do you think that we're gonna sign Diggs before we look for another cornerback, or we just gonna go straight to the draft and then worry about his contract before the season starts?
I think that they're going to be not proactive with Trayvon Diggs. They're going to be on the fact that, okay, let's see what you can do this year. You know, we've seen your first year. We've seen your second year. Let's see what you can do in your ultimately. This will be his fourth year or third year, right? This will be his third year, right? If I'm wrong, or last year was his third year? No. So we'll see what you can do in the fourth year. Let's see if you can do what you did last year, but better, because we need to know before we pay you. You know, that's how it's gonna be.
Okay, I got you. And then, do you think it's possible? I know everybody's talking about OBJ and D-Hop. You think it's possible we may be able to get Stephon Diggs, his brother? I mean, well, yeah, the wide receiver from Buffalo.
First and foremost, we got to figure out the compensations, right? The Bills could be trying to, recoup some of the stuff that they did to get Von Miller and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think that it's slim. It's a real slim, because I think that on the open market, far as that, I think the Bills would want something to be like a first-round draft pick or a third round or something like 2 firsts, and then you got to pay the man. So I don't see that being. I don't care how mad Diggs is over there. I just don't see that happening, though. I just don't see it. I want it to happen, but I don't see it.
Right. I got you. All right. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up. I just want to chit chat a little bit because I'm out here making my deliveries. But go Cowboys. I'll probably hit you up tomorrow, bro.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. That's a good call from him, man. All right, it's Aaron. I just don't see that happening. Although I would love for it to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I would flat out love for Stephon Diggs to be here. Nuanced route runner, can take the top off the defense as well. Will fit wonderful in a West Coast scheme, the drags, the deep overs. I think that he will be phenomenal, man. I can see all type of things that you can do from a skill set of a Stephon Diggs mixed in with a Trayvon Diggs on the defensive side, or we can stick to just the offense, mixed in with CD Lamb. My goodness. That's a lot of weapons right there for us, and that would be nice, man. It would be nice, and I just don't see the Bills helping us out. Bills and the Cowboys don't like one another, by the way. We got 2 Super Bowls from that, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I got my guy MJ from the 206. You in the mix?
What up, Law Nation?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me, man.
Let me break it down to all the fans. This is GM, MJ.
Yeah.
This is what I'm about to do, Cowboys. I'm not signing the linebacker because I can get him cheap. I'm not signing the tight end, $10 million. Nope. I'm not signing Wilson. I'm bringing back Hankin.
Okay.
And I'm signing Darvin. My 2 nose tackles in the middle. They help my young linebackers. 14 is all the way healthy now. 33 is all the way healthy. Number 50 is a beast. He all the way healthy. And my number 11. And then I'm signing a corner. Yeah. Then I'm going to get me a tight end in the draft. There's so many tight ends. There's so many halfbacks. And it's some fast wide receivers. I'm not wasting my money. Oh, no. Number 10 from the Cardinals. Oh, now, if the Giants and the Cowboys is the one that's going to probably sign OB. But OB, he's not getting no $12 million from me. Oh, no.
Well, what would you give Odell Beckham? What would be your price tag on him?
Hey, I'm going to tell Odell, I'm going to give you $16 million, $8 million. If you don't take it, c'est la vie. Don't let the wheel hit you in the back.
Oh, so that'll be a 2-year contract, right around, give or take, $11 million, and then the rest would be what, guaranteed money for 2 years? Yeah. We're totaling up for $16 million. I mean, you can put some more fluff on that to make it sound pretty, like a $30 million deal, incentive base or what have you for 2 years. I see what you're thinking.
Because you got to remember, he's going to bring a fullback back. We're about to do a lot of screens. Y'all finna see the most screens y'all ever seen. You're about to see a lot of screen with the tight ends, and you're about to see the halfback catch a 10-yard pass like Zeke did before, and Pollard, and the new back that we're going to have. Okay. So the offense is going to be so dangerous. And you got to remember, we either in the first or second going to get a guard. That's for sure. It's going to be a guard. Yeah. Or you can get the Minnesota guy. He can play center or guard. No. Or Vila. But now, the X factor, your boy, is that the guy that ran a 4-4? Is he a linebacker or he a DN? Is he from Georgia or is he from Ohio State? Is that Smith?
Oh, Noah Smith?
Yeah.
Nolan. Is it Nolan or Noah? Y'all help me out. But the kid, yeah, from Georgia. Yeah.
Okay. That's why I say, look, that's why I say you get Darvin Thompson. Then you put Hankins in the middle. You got Smith that we got D-Law. Now we got Parkins. Now I'm going to add
Nolan.
If Smith fall, I'm going to add Smith to them linebackers so we can kill everybody. And then we're going to get that corner. Because it's some fast corner, that 4-3. We get them in the second round. And then I ain't worried about the safety. So everybody going to want to come to Dallas and get that Super Bowl because they know our middle of our defense is set now. With Big Darvin and big Hankins in the middle, they're going to eat all day. Them linebackers going to be
Dalvin Tomlinson is a real big got girth, right? Massive guy that you can put inside. And then if you pair that up with a rotational piece of Jonathan Hankins, I mean, that would be phenomenal. And let's not forget about this. This would be the third year for Big Bo, right?
Yes.
Normally, normally you would see the growth aspect of that. It take him about 2 to 3 years. And Big Bo, there should be no excuse for that big boy by now, and he should be ready.
No more excuses.
Yeah.
I want my 4-4s, my 4-3s, linebackers,
right?
Roman, and I want them making all the tackles. And then you know what that help that help the corners, and your safeties don't never have to come up no more. Ain't nobody getting none over the top of us. Ain't nobody getting none through them seams. And Michael, they don't know where them linebackers coming from. That's a lot of sacks, and they try to throw screens on us. They can't run on us. That'll be the number one defense. Now offense is just driving, touchdown, driving. And Brandon coming up next. Brandon, stop talking about you, Dak Prescott now, my brother. Dak Prescott. Hey, Brandon. Now, I love what you be talking about, Brandon. I know you frustrated. Now, I want to ask Brandon. Brandon, get over here.
Hold on, man. Look. Look, Brandon, you're live with MJ since he's calling you by name,
Brandon,
man.
MJ, you got one question, man. You cutting into my time. Go ahead.
Okay, Brandon. I'm going to ask you one question. Brandon, in 2016, when Dak Prescott was a 20 touchdown and 4, did you like him or not? Tell the truth.
He was okay. He was a piece of the puzzle.
Ain't okay?
I just told you. I said he was okay. He was a piece of the puzzle.
Okay. So now, if we bring that same format that we about to do, we about to scheme, we about to do everything. Now, I'm agree with you. We ain't got no excuse. This guy Dak Prescott should be the number one quarterback this year with the scheme they about to run. Because he about to get a lot of screens, dink and dunk, and the receiving, all our fast young receivers don't have to do that stupid Kellen Moore offense no more. So we ain't got no excuse. I agree with you. Hey, no more excuse.
No doubt, man. Okay. Hey, Marv, man, let them know, man. Let them know, man. Let me hear you say it.
And how about them Cowboys? And Brandon, let's get the championship. No excuses.
Man, let's get it, man.
Let's get it, man. That's a good civil conversation right there, man. That's MJ, man. Y'all put your hands together for him. And I got my guy Brandon over here on the ones and twos, man. Talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
Man, hey, I'm back. I missed a few days. I know your caller's missing.
Yeah, man, we were worried about you, man. You know what? We were worried about you, bro.
Don't worry, believe me. I caught you at some of the tail ends of your show, and I like to come in early so at least I can gather what's going on, and then I can release on y'all.
Okay.
But no, so sorry. I'm back, y'all. Y'all can hate me now. Okay. So I don't want to talk about 2-4 Dak. Let's leave him be.
Okay.
Let's move on. I was listening to Coach Marv, and I respect Coach Marv. I don't agree with a lot of things he say. I respect him though.
Right.
I respect him. But I would love to ask Coach Marv if he's buying into the Jerry, because I don't know. I was confused about what he was saying. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
Because on one hand, he was saying, like, are we using them against each other? How we using D-Hop versus Odell Beckham? D-Hop got 2 years on his contract. He going to get top money from somebody. And, like, we know this to be fact. Jerry Jones is not going to spend big money on the third receiver. He going to have to pay CD. He just paid for Michael Gallup, 50% of Michael Gallup, because he underperformed last year. However you want to paint it, he underperformed, and we still pay him after coming off a bad injury. And you want us to also pay big money for D-Hop? I love D-Hop, but we're not going to do that. We're not in that business. We're talking about Odell because we feel like we could get him at a bargain basement price. So please, let's stop acting like we're going to even attempt to go to a number that we're going to try to go bare minimum. And the truth be told, we're probably not even going to sign Odell. We're not going to sign D-Hop. That's the truth. And I know Law Nation knows this to be the truth. Like,
I'm glad you were talking enough. I'm glad you were talking enough. I forgot that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create like little backdrops for the people that call in, and I forgot to create yours, man. So you already know who I got. You know who I had to get up there. Yeah, I had to get you up there.
Get him up there.
He up there now.
You got him up there now?
He up there now.
Thank you.
Yeah, my dude up there now. So whenever you call in, I'm gonna have my guy up here with you.
Look, I wish I had a cigarette because it'd be so laughable. Like, we're not doing it. Y'all know we not doing it. And I guess it's just the off season to act like we don't do it. Right. We're not gonna do it. So let's talk about stuff that's doable.
Go ahead.
Defense.
Okay.
Like it's plenty of guys out there that we could go get. Like to me, offense is the offense, and we don't get any offensive help. It needs to be O-line, and it needs to be a running back to partner with Tony Pollard because Ezekiel Elliott is done. Sorry, we love him, but he done. And y'all can keep acting like, he's about to turn back into all-pro Zeke. Now, stop that. He is over. This type of thinking is why Jason Witten spent 3 extra years on the roster. Okay, back to what the defense. Okay. We need to bolster the defense. That's all I'm saying. Let's bolster the defense because we got 2-4 Dak, so that's all we need. The defense. We need D tackle. We need another corner. Like, hell, we could even get some more D ends. It's plenty. It's guys being cut left and right. Not saying we're going to be able to afford all of them, but some of these guys we can afford. And it's on the Dallas Cowboys to at least call them. We cannot use where they might have been childhood lovers of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, dude, it's about dollars and cents.
All right, so now that I got all of my little pre buttons together now, you know what I'm saying? I had to go put the Panic Man inside the phone case over here. I'll build in the plane while you was going over your wonderful monologue about the team or what have you, or your soliloquy. But let me say this though.
Thank you.
At what point are you talking about Ezekiel Elliott is done? Like break it down to me. What he can't do? Break it down to me, man. Break it down to me. What he can't do?
Yo, viewers love Ezekiel Elliott, but we don't look. Okay.
Talk to me.
I'm not gonna do it to him what I do today.
Why?
We love Zeke. I love Zeke.
Right.
But, bruh, how is it every time Tony Pollard in the game, magic happens?
Mm-hmm.
When Zeke in the game, we just trading. We keeping our head above water. Like, that's it. Like, now if you tell me inside the 5 we got Zeke, give him the ball because he gonna score every time.
And he got a nose for the end zone. So you just answered your own problem, right? So you were saying magic happened. Hold on.
I'm not saying.
All right, go ahead, give your 1 point and then I go. Then okay, go ahead, go.
Look. Keep Zeke for about 5 to 10 plays just for a red zone guy. But stop telling me, like, honestly, truthfully, he's not that much better than Malik Davis. Let's just keep it real. He a great blocker. He's great inside the 5. But other than that, he does nothing else well. He can't catch that good no more. And he has no explosion. But I know it's all Kellen Moore's fault. But go ahead.
Oh, well, you took that little bullet away. So I love that. I love that aspect of it. So with that being said, you said when you put Tony Pollard in, magic stuff happens. Well, why it don't happen why it don't happen inside the 20?
Because we're going to give it to Zeke. That's when you're going to see Zeke. Zeke ain't waving his hand to come out, but he waving his hand to come in. Come on, stop.
He did before. You know, I go back and I started to look at Ezekiel Elliott. You remember in 2019, now I know that was Tony Pollard's rookie year. We got inside the 20. We gave Tony Pollard the ball. He fumbled everywhere. He was playing basketball with the football. Now, I know it's 2023s now, but I do look back at some of the games earlier this year when we gave the ball to Tony Pollard inside the 20, and he couldn't find a nose for the end zone, red zone, money zone. And on top of that, this year, I love what Tony Pollard can bring to the table, by the way. But are you willing to bet everything that Tony Pollard can give you more than 15 touches a game?
See, again, this is why I tell people to listen to everything I say. I say get somebody in here with Tony.
And who would that person be? Malik Davis?
Law. He already on the team, so we can't. He's already here. You can there's somebody out there serviceable. But my point is to sit up here and be like, well, Zeke's finna turn back to he about to do Benjamin Button or something. Like, guys, I know we love these players. We're the only franchise that do this. We love them until the wheels fall off. Let him have a resurgence somewhere else if that's what y'all want to do. If y'all love him that much, love him on another team. I'm going to do that. But we're going to have to, let's bring somebody else in. He could be the third back. Like, come on, guys. Come on, Law. Please. Come on, Law. Law, this man, it's 2 yards in a cloud of dust every single time. He had a good showing before he got the knee injury. And right on schedule, once he got the knee injury, he was a non-factor. Law, I know your viewers love Zeke, but come on, Law. Please. Matter of fact, let me ask you this question. Was, like, if Tony Pollard was not on the team, would our run game could Zeke pick up that slack that Tony Pollard, that board that would be gone from Tony Pollard? Could Zeke pick up that slack? Yes or no? It's not yes or no.
If Tony Pollard wasn't on this team,
if Tony Pollard was not on the team, and you know the stats that he had this year, could Zeke get half of Tony Pollard's stats that he had this year? The stats that Zeke had, plus could he get half of Tony Pollard's stats that Tony Pollard had? Could he fill some of that void? Could he do that? Yes or no?
Those are things that we don't know, because for the simple fact,
now it's the unknown.
It is still the unknown because of the fact that you had
no to Tony Pollard getting the ball.
When I tell you this, I tell you this, I tell you this.
Go ahead.
When did Zeke start to decline? What year?
To me, the decline started. It started 2 years ago, but to me, it was apparent last year.
In what game?
But he's not the same player.
In what game? In what game?
Of course, it was after the knee injury, and you're gonna say, well, of course he's not gonna be the same after a knee injury. But it's 2 years in a row you have the same injury. So y'all want this to happen 3 years in a row or something? So maybe that'll make y'all happy. Maybe y'all will be like, okay, in 3 years in a row it happened. So now he done. Come on, guys.
All right. And what happened? And what happened with that? So you said it 2 years ago, right? So what my thing is, the Cowboys, I have no issues of moving on from Ezekiel Elliott. My stance is just make sure you replenish. And what I was telling people the other night on the Final Word, there's only been one player in Cowboys history as a rookie to give you 12 touchdowns, and that happened in 1977. And that name was Tony Dorsett. So for you to go out there to find another Tony Dorsett, you're going to have to go find somebody that can do that. Because last year, those 12 touchdowns, you done jumped up out of your seat and you celebrated, and you was like, wee, come on, we about to win. When Zeke scored, you probably did the feed me emojis, right? And you was probably on the same page with Zeke when you said, hey, Zeke deserved his money to get paid. You were probably on that because you were saying that he should, and he got his bag. So my stance is still the same. If you're going to get rid of Ezekiel Elliott, just make sure that you replenish those 12 touchdowns, and make sure that production that you got out of Tony Pollard, that this thing called law of diminishing rates of return will happen. Why? Because last year was his first time ever getting 15 or more attempts in one game. And then the next game, he didn't look the same. So that's all I'm saying. So we just got to make sure that we cover all things. That's all I'm saying.
See, you proving my point. So to try to find a reason to keep Zeke, we have to diminish Tony Pollard and say, well, this is first time doing it. It's your first time doing everything when it's your first time. And then you say, well, he's not big enough. Well, he may not be able to take guys. So let's say that's true. That does not, two things can be true. Zeke still time with Zeke. I don't care about all that. And this is another thing, because Law tried to waffle on this viewers last time. I said, hey, is it not easy to come in the NFL as a running back and be super productive? Law was, but he can answer. I guess he can have a second bite at the apple. But he was trying to say he don't think so. So again, Law, I'm gonna ask. If we brought a rookie, let's just say one of these top rookie running backs.
Right.
Let's say one of the top 3 rookie running backs we brought in. Do you believe we could get one of those top 3 running backs for the Dallas Cowboys could give us Ezekiel Elliott type production, meaning 800 yards, 7 touchdowns? Could we get that from one of the top 3 running backs?
You talking about out of this draft, right? You talking about out of this draft? Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, look, what I'm saying is, I'm going to say this again. And it's not nothing to do with Tony Pollard, can he can't do it. But what I'm saying is realistically, just like we look at Tony Pollard and we say, oh, he can do those Debo things, but he wouldn't have the time to do Debo things. You won't see the full array of Tony Pollard if he's the number one running back, right? If it's Tony Pollard and just Malik Davis. Now, granted, if you go into this draft and let's say you get a Zach Charbonnet, or if you go get a Jahmyr Gibbs, then yeah, you probably can utilize Tony Pollard and Jahmyr Gibbs mixed in with Malik Davis. But keep in mind, the style and kind of caliber of running back that you had before would be all differently than what you have now, because none of those boys are big block boys, or none of those boys are big burly type of running backs. I'm not saying that you need one to win it, but the style and kind of caliber of offense that the Cowboys are going to be running, they're going to need them a big back. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you so much for calling in. Anything else before I let you go? Because I got some more people waiting.
Nothing but how about them Cowboys? I'm the number one caller over here, and y'all love me, and y'all know that. Hey, shout out to me, shout out to Law. How about them Cowboys?
No doubt, man. Salute, man. That's Brandon, y'all. All right, so let me go back to my stance that I was trying to figure out to put some more things on the screen while he was going through his points there. Once again, I'm going to tell you guys, we all like what Tony Pollard can do. But clearly there's reservations with the Cowboys front office about Tony Pollard. If there were no reservations about Tony Pollard, there would be no franchise tag. They would go clearly and say, all right, we got X, Y, and Z money, because it's a less cap hit to go ahead and pay Tony Pollard 2 to 3 years versus taking his $10.1 million cap hit up front. Those are the realities of it. Now, granted, if the Cowboys are planning on moving on from Ezekiel Elliott, I see no fault at that. Just make sure you replenish and understand that what you're getting out of Tony Pollard mixed in with a Malik Davis will be a whole lot different than what you get out of Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. That's all I'm saying. All right, so next we have Too Cool. You live, man. Talk to me, man, from the 910 you in.
Hey, Law, what's up with you?
Nothing to it, Chief. Talk to me, man.
Hey, so I tell everybody this. Cowboy fans need to caution themselves, because I see history just keep repeating itself. So now here we are, another year talking about a running back. So the last caller, Brandon, was talking about who could we get to replace Zeke. We can go get B. John Robinson, or we can go get Gibbs. Right. But then next year we're going to be having the same conversation. Should Gibbs or B. John be starting over Tony Pollard? Tony Pollard is a scat back. Zeke is 27 years old. 27 years old in the NFL, as a running back, that's old.
It is old, yeah.
Tony Pollard, 25.
2 years from each other, yeah.
Yeah, they're 2 years from each other, so Tony Pollard is coming off an injury. We don't know that Tony Pollard's going to come back the same running back that he was this year. So why would I give up Zeke?
I think most people don't like Zeke because of the money, right? The $16 million. I think that the perception of Zeke would be a whole lot different if he was $3 to $4 million, and you would say, okay, all right, you got this battering back that can give you some yardage or what have you in a pinch on short yardage. But I get it. He's been here for 7 years now, and he is the low-hanging fruit, right? Back-to-back injuries, you look at that, and then you say, okay, of course he's going to get hurt in his third time in a row. So why pay that? But Ezekiel Elliott camp already came out and said, or Ezekiel Elliott himself said, that they will be willing to take a pay cut. Why is that is enough? Why would you do like what my guy West Coast Cowboys said? Why would you do open heart surgery? Why would you get rid of your running back for the unknown? That's just yeah.
I wouldn't get rid of Zeke. Everybody keeps saying get rid of Zeke. If that's the case, that you start Pollard and you let Zeke come in and he be the power back. Zeke will be the power back when you get into 20 yards and under. Yep. Zeke is going to get in the game, right? Because like you said, Pollard could not take that. He could not tote the rock 19 and in. That's not Pollard's game. Pollard is more of a catcher. He's a space out running back. He go out there, split out, catch screens and things like that. That's Pollard game. That's not Zeke game anymore. Zeke is getting old in it too. However, that's why I say we got to caution ourselves. A lot of people keep saying the same thing, just like offensive line. Why would I go draft offensive lineman right now when I know I can go out here right now and get Orlando Brown?
Yeah.
Right. Let's spend money on individuals right now. In the first round of the draft, if I'm not taking my first one, my 1A is JSN. That's what we need. We need a slot receiver. If we go out and get OBJ, bring OBJ in as a number 2, or even trade for Hopkins, we still need a young slot receiver. To me, you got the Cincinnati Bengals, you got Kansas City Chiefs. Not only do they not just have like a number 1 go-to receiver, but it's the way they have it set up. Harmon is the slot receiver. They speed is in the slot. I like JSN in our slot because he's a more defined route runner when it comes to running the route. Out of any receiver in the draft right now, that's probably the best route runner we've had come out of the draft in the past 3 years.
Him, Addison, he got some routes to his ability there, though. Now he need a sandwich, but we've been seeing smaller receivers like him excel on this next level. But JSN, he's probably your most polished wide receiver as far as route running. I would not sleep on Zay Flowers, though. You blink, you miss him, he's gone, right? He's a 4.42 guy that gained weight and still ran that weight, still ran that speed. So I'm not going to dismiss that. But it goes back to the height factors and things like that. But neither here nor there. I feel exactly what you're saying. With the 26th pick, it need to be calculated. We've been talking about finding another wide receiver since Amari Cooper been gone. We haven't replaced those productions. Right. And it goes to the point whereas not just Amari Cooper's, it was also Cedric Wilson's, right? So that's 1,400 yards of production. That's 14 touchdowns that we still been missing out there on the field. Now, even with the whole conversational piece with Ezekiel Elliott, look, I get it. A lot of people will look at the 12 touchdowns and say it was all in the red zone. Overall, that's 1,900 yards production, 24 touchdowns. It's going to be hard to replace that with a rookie in conjunction with Tony Pollard.
Yeah, you're right, Lo. But if I was a GM, I'm taking. If I got the 26th pick, JSN is off the board. Yeah. Washington is hands down 1B. I have to take the tight end out of Georgia. I'm taking him.
Oh yeah.
Right. Then I'm going out. I'm bringing in veteran receivers to go with him, CeeDee Lamb, and Pollard and Zeke in the backfield.
Yeah. You can clearly, in this offseason, go into this offseason, y'all hear me out, and listen to my guy Too Cool. You can literally solidify your front by getting a Dalvin Tomlinson, re-up Jonathan Hankins, or who else, a big boy. Just go find you a big boy, big plug down inside. It immediately going to help your outside perimeter guys like the Parsons, Laws, and Sam Williams. And you can go into this draft in the second and third rounds looking at linebackers or safeties or not safeties, but DBs, right? But you can solidify that first pick with the 26th pick with one of your offensive guys, like you said. If JSN is out there or Darnell Washington is out there, then you can utilize that, and then you straight.
But you know what, Law? Also, I tell people this too. Everybody keeps saying defense win championship. That's old football. This is offensive-minded football now. Points win games now, right? So we just sat here and watched history in the making. You had a man on a bum ankle going to win a Super Bowl versus one of the top 5 defenses in the league. And the second half came back and shredded him.
Yes, indeed, Too Cool. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to push back on that another day. You know what I'm saying? But I like that point, though. You know, I'm team defense all the way. But I appreciate you, Jay. Too Cool.
All right.
Appreciate you, man. Good call from him. Bishop, you're live from the 954. You're live. Bishop Kane.
Man, what's good, Lyle? How y'all doing today, man?
Man, well, man, I can't complain. Talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
Okay, first thing first, about the Zeke convo, man, and about many more Cowboys that came and look. I'm going to be real, man. The Cowboys organization let Zeke down, bro. That's why his contract looks so bad. You feel me? They wore dude out, bro. They wore dude out. When he was the coldest, dude was the coldest back and arguably the coldest player in the league for like 3 years straight. We didn't do nothing to help him during none of that time at all. We just was like, yeah, we just going to ride on Zeke. We going to ride on his legs. We going to ride on his knees. And we see the results of what's going on now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The problem is with it is that it's a twofold situation. Like running backs, yeah, they do age like bananas on the top of the refrigerator, right? It's not a long stay for them. And all running backs that come into the league, they're trying to fight for their second contract or quote unquote first big contract, but really it's the second contract that they're looking for. I get all of that. The Cowboys front office, I don't think that they have a planned decision on building a certain thing outside of what we've seen in the last 2 years with Dan Quinn. Everything else it's been like, okay, we grab a little here, we grab a little philosophy there, and then we will have a collections of plays thrown out there. There's no one that can definitively say that this is what the Cowboys do on Sunday through Sunday on offense.
To that point, this go way back to Dez, bro.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, we don't players. You are what you are when you come to this team. If you a dog and a superstar when you get here, that's what you are. But we don't make you better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See. Now, Dan Quinn, that's a whole nother story. He making people better. He developing them. You feel me?
Yeah.
But everybody on the offensive side of the ball, shoot, they was good as soon as they got here. Dak was good as soon as he got here. We really low-key made Dak worse because we messed up his mentality of how to play the game.
Yeah.
Dak used to play like it was a backyard. He have a good time. You know what I'm saying? He ain't wild with the ball. You know what I'm saying? He know not to take a sack. He know to take that 3 yards, 4 yards and slide. He ain't even, bro. He used to truck people, flip into the end zone. And, bro, we done seen Dak do Cam Newton-esque stuff.
Yeah.
The same Jalen Hurts that everybody was talking about could have been MVP. That's 2016 Dak. And it's like we got to get better at developing players within the organization, bro, to the point of, like, just like right now, we see Tony, like, if we do let Zeke go, we see Tony Pollard, like he just said, he's 25. We need to draft a running back this year.
The only thing is with Tony Pollard, and this is 1,000% true, y'all. Tony Pollard is better than what we've seen him at. He is. Exactly. He's better than what we've seen him at. We ain't even seen him.
And that's another thing. Mike McCarthy come from Green Bay, a two-back system. They ain't never just had a lead back. It's nothing wrong with having two good backs I'm talking about just evenly matched backs. So it don't have to be no one back that we were like. Look how we did DeMarco Murray. He was never the same after he broke that record.
He broke out, wore down, and then they shipped him off. But when I say that he's better than what we see from him, is you can literally look at Tony Pollard as a slot wide receiver, right? That you can put in the backfield, that can give you that wow factor, that you don't have to run him in between the numbers. You can bust him, hit him on the outside, right? And with whatever the Cowboys do, just make sure if you move on from Ezekiel Elliott, you still need a guy that can block, a guy that can put his body out there on the line. Because when I look back at Tony Pollard, and I'm not saying that he can't block, ladies and gentlemen, but what I'm saying is when you leaning on that and the style of caliber of program we've got to run, you're going to need you a big back. You're going to need that. And I appreciate you for calling in, fam.
Yes, sir. Hey, one more thing, like, if we can get something in this free agency, man, I agree with them other callers, man. It's plenty of defense. Man, they got Bud. I'm looking at the free agency. They got Bud Dupree.
Yeah.
They got Frank Clark. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Zach Cunningham, Deion Jones, Marcus Peters. Like, it's some guys we can just go on and spend a little money with real quick and just change everything on this D. And they play. And I'm looking at linebacker, D-end, D-tackle, and corner. If we can, like Marcus Peters, and then, bro, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Something like that.
Look.
Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Bud Dupree.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We gonna be ready for it on March the 15th. That's when everything opens wide open, man, and I can't wait for it, fam. It's gonna be like Christmas.
Appreciate you, Law.
No doubt, man.
How about them Cowboys, man? Hey, man, y'all keep y'all head up, man. We gonna figure this shit out, man.
Hell yeah. Let's go, man. That's Bishop Kane. Y'all appreciate him. All right, so before we let this other caller on, I just got to get back to I think it was right here. I think we were right here. And listen, when Mike McCarthy first got his job, he worked with this coach. And this coach knows Mike McCarthy. And I'm not saying that he's right and everyone else wrong, but just listen to what he had to say again. Wrong guy, wrong video. How about that? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me find this video. I know I got it somewhere in the Rolodex over here. Here it is right here. Boom.
All up sometimes in double coverage. Come down with it. That would help the Cowboys offense. There's no doubt.
Yeah, whether you're an X or a Y or however you want to categorize him.
Listen to the last part of it.
He's an alpha receiver. Yeah. That dude can be your primary target, and you can move the chains in your offense, in your passing attack through a guy like this. I don't know. I'm surprised. What people say, maybe he could be had for a second-round pick. I'm thinking, that sounds like a good expenditure to me. What must Dak and the Cowboys do this season, this offseason, do you think, Coach, to take the next step?
Well, they need a receiver. There's no doubt about that. And they need another runner. They need a big runner, though, a 220-pound runner. Look, I know Mike McCarthy. I know him very well. And he said it. He wants to run the ball. Not soft runs, hard ball runs. Right down the center of your defense. That's going to set up the play-action pass. That's going to get the linebackers to suck up. The ability to...
So that's what he said. He need a 200, or he wants a 220-pound back. And we're going to have to go out there and find that dude. You know what I'm saying? But, all right, so let's go with the 607. You live.
Not soft run, hard ball run. Right down the center of your defense. That's going to set up the play-action pass. That's going to get
607.
So that's what he said. He need a 200, or he wants a 220-pound back.
That's what that sounds like.
We don't have to go out there and find that dude, you know what I'm saying? But, all right, so let's go with the 607, you live.
607. All right, now mute yourself, man. You caught up with the live.
607. Yo, what's up?
Hey, turn me down. Turn me down in the back, though.
He needs a 200, or he wants a 220-pound back.
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dog. We fought through it, man. And
I can't believe I got through, man. You know, I've been trying so many times, man. I watch the show all the time. I'm the biggest Cowboy fan. I'm from Binghamton, New York.
New York, okay. So I got a house in New York now, man. I appreciate you, man.
Listen. I'm fully for us. Like I know everything. Listen, it's such a hard topic when we talk about Zeke. And if you're a real Cowboy fan, and you remember, like, I watch Zeke Elliott's highlight tape every day when he's been doing what he's done, and the sacrifice and the way he is and the camaraderie. Like, Zeke Elliott brings a lot to our team that is more than the football field.
Right.
And when you take that away from our team, it's just like, that's Dak's best friend. So you got to realize how he's going to play with our offense. Indeed, we know our weaknesses. We knew we need another receiver. Right. I knew CeeDee Lamb was going to take that next step as to be a number one receiver.
Yeah.
The most idiot move you could do is get rid of Amari Cooper for a fifth-round pick, and not replace him. You got rid of Cedric Wilson. Before that, you got rid of Cole Beasley. That was his target. Now you get rid of Cedric Wilson. He didn't do nothing, depended on Dak when he took the big cap hit. Now we're sitting like this. We're wondering around. What are we going to do? We're trying to have money go here and there. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to who's got to take the cut, and it's coming down to Zeke Elliott, and it's like, oh, he's bad. Well, you know what? Before that Detroit game, he was looking pretty good. And it always happens. So we're saying just because Zeke has been playing, let's bring it to people's attention. Zeke plays hard. He plays hurt. Every game, Zeke is in that lineup. So what do you expect? How do you think he's going to look? Look at 2 or 3 yards rushing. And then Tony Pollard's looking great. So you're telling me we can't go into the season if Zeke takes a pay cut, a reasonable pay cut that doesn't disrespect him, that it's going to help the team. You know what I'm saying? But if he's not, then I guess it is what it is. Why can't Dallas go and say, all right, they're getting Derrick Henry for a second-round pick. We need a big bruiser. You know what I'm saying? Receivers are going to be out there. Odell, D-Hop. We're going to get that. Right. I really think we need that corner. Anthony Brown, that killed us. When he was gone, he was still getting burnt. We didn't have a corner for our other corner on the other side. We go grab Patrick Peterson. We grab somebody to shore up that side. I like Joey Porter Jr. or like that boy out of Maryland.
Yeah.
We shore up our other side. No, we could be as good as the 2000 Ravens. I swear our defense could be that good if we get that other side filled up. And then we wouldn't have to worry about it. We ran the ball when Dak Prescott ran 20 to 25 pass attempts.
Yeah.
We're unbelievable. They can't beat us. They cannot beat us when it's 20-25 play action. Dude, nobody can beat us when we run the football. You know what I'm saying, Law? It's just easier for our team. Sign our homegrown players, LV, make sure we get somebody so Mike is not taking so many hits, get a D tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's so simple for our team because we have so many good players. Wilson, bring Wilson back, of course. You know what I'm saying? Dan Quinn's got that side. He's got that side 100%. We just got to get over here, and it's simple. Get a slot receiver, make a really good business decision. You know what I'm saying? We have players that take pay cuts. They believe in our system.
Yeah.
Dak's going to take an extension, you know? So it's kind of simple. When I listen to what's going on. It's come on, Jerry, give a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Come on. If we got to make a big move, let's do it. We're in that time. D-Hop's out there saying he wants to come to Dallas. That's what I'm hearing. So if he wants to come, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. We got the team.
And it goes all the way back to we got options. We just got to play it smart, and we can't rush it. Look, we don't have to break down everything. We just got to move a few pieces around and get back to proper play calling. And I think that 1,900 yards, 24 touchdowns worth of production that we had out of the running back room last year, right? It can be beneficial even more just by simple play calling. You don't have to have the full, I love this saying from West Coast, you don't have to have the full open heart surgery. I think that you can still utilize all three running backs. Zeke, hey, he already agreed or allegedly agreed to take the pay cut. Hey, take less money. We take some of that money. Go get D-Hop. I think that D-Hop, CeeDee Lamb, a recovering Michael Gallup is a whole lot better than the trio that we had last year. And then we have better play calling. And whoever we draft in the draft, let's get this thing going, man. Hey, from the 607, man, what's your name, fam? So I can store you in here.
My name's DJ, man.
All right, DJ. From New York, right?
From New York, man. I'm checking in, man. I'm watching every day. I'm at work watching it. I love your show, man. If you're not on, there's something wrong with my day, man.
well, hey, I'm trying to come on the show live every day, man, and I appreciate you, DJ from NY, man. I thank you, man. You have a good day and a better tomorrow, fam.
Yeah, you too, love.
Yes.
All right, man.
That's a good call from him. All right, so that's DJ, man. Give him some fire in the chat, man. Great point. And I'm not saying that he's 1,000% right and everybody else was wrong. And I'm not saying that I'm 1,000% right. All we got is thoughts and opinions out here. But I do agree that we don't have to do massive overhaul changes. We just need a little piece here and a little piece there. And, dude, we going to get it going. Yeah, Michael Rappaport. Yeah. He do sound like that. That's that accent up that way, right? Oh, my God. Do sound like Michael Rappaport. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. DC for Life says basically Stephen Jones doesn't want to spend that money, but him and Jerry so fast to get rid of Amari would have had more sense if they kept Cedric Wilson, DC for life. Is that what C-Dub stands for? Yeah. Would have made more sense if they kept Cedric Wilson. Yes, I think that you can probably get Cedric Wilson back over here for a lollipop, right? And some French fries. But we'll find out, man, what this team will do down the line. I appreciate you, DC, for life. Flex, or X. What do that mean? Help me out, man. You know my hooked on funny guys. But I appreciate you, man. And I thank y'all so much, man, for tuning in. I got Lokes on the phone. He slipped right on in here from the 972. Oh, he jumped off the phone. Well, yep. Well, call back in, man. I was about to shut it down, but, man, shoot, call back in. And let me know, give me feedback on the display today. I tried to create something with a little humor with the phone or what have you, and you got the people pointing, you got the people on the phone, and I kind of put it in this little phone case right here. But y'all let me know, give me your thoughts on the graphics overlay that I created this morning or what have you, brought to you by Mint Mobile. And I should have overlays on everything, but I get a little too bogged down with everything. So I said, you know what? Let me create some overlays or what have you to spruce up the place a little bit since I have a little bit more time. Appreciate you, Gina, with the J. She says she loved the display law. Appreciate you. You know what, man? It took me 30 minutes to make this, and I really appreciate you, Gina. So give me some blue hearts in the chat. But my main visual here, I was looking back at some of my videos or what have you. I think the bland look is really good. You know, you guys can see me or what have you. I'm not in a small box. And I kept everything kind of like simple over there. And I always had a stroller at the bottom. Some of the videos that I kind of recut up, the stroller get in the way, so that's why I took it away. But I brought it back because so many people was asking me, Law, what's your Cash App? And that's my Cash App right there. And now you guys can, do what you want to do with the Cash App. But let me give a shout out to Scott. Shout out to you that text me, and shout out to you, Wayne. Oh, Wynn, Clifton Wynn. Thank you for the Cash App that you sent. And he asked, is B-Hop is too old? No, I think B-Hop is, look, man, we call him 30-year-olds old, but in football years, I think he still got enough in the tank for at least 3 to 4 years. Lokes, man, from the 972, what's on your heart?
Hey, good afternoon, Law. Sorry about that. I just hung up by accident.
No doubt, man.
Anyways,
it's all good.
Hey, I hope your day's going good, and I just want to do one quick point. So we already know how the Cowboys operate in off-season, correct?
Right.
We know it's about their money. We know it's injured guys. We know it's about their guys. We like our guys.
We like our guys.
We like our guys. Hey, we draft you, and you're solid. We like you. All right.
Oh yeah.
That's Jerry, right? He wants to be right. So. And saying that, I think our expectations for this offseason is every year as Cowboys fans, we can say, oh, we can get D-Hop. We can get, what was last year's expectation to get? Oh, we can get Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner, DK Metcalf,
Exactly. But our expectations shouldn't be that, So I would calm it down because we know Stephen Jones ain't going to do that, correct?
Right.
So I think we as the Cowboys Nation need to approach this every year as what would Jerry and Stephen Jones do? What would Will McClay look at the later rounds, or who's out there that we can see that fits the Cowboys criteria, correct? And there's some good names out there in free agency that's good for cheap, low key. But I mean, it's if Stephen Jones will accept the responsibility of being right or wrong, correct?
Yeah.
And if he ever takes responsibility of ever being right, he has to risk it for the biscuit, as my grandma said. Correct?
Yeah,
if you want to go
right.
if you want to go get that championship, you got to go out there and spend. So if we ever see that, then that will be my indication that, okay, Cowboys are willing to spend. Let's see what else they're going to do. And I don't think they're going to do it this year, but I think maybe they have a chance of next year because of all the cap space we might be able to free up.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I have to say. Don't have high expectations for this offseason. Let's see what we can get out of these players we draft or get out of free agency. And let's continue to work with Dak and finally have a good scheme, because I feel like that has been lacking over the last 15 or 10 years with this Jason Garrett tree. So let's see where we go.
Scheme will help, man. I appreciate you so much. It's Lokes, man. All right, so from the 972, great points all together. Let me say this. We're not that far away, right? We're not. So we're going to have a better scheme, and what we're looking for is one or two players. One or two players, man. One or two. Think about this. The media made you guys feel this way. All last year, we didn't even have back-to-back losses. We didn't lose a game back-to-back. So that's why it was good. And it was important for us to lose against the Washington team in the last game, but neither here nor there. The Dallas Cowboys, we just one or two things away. So don't beat yourself up with the guys that's already here. Don't beat yourself up over it. All right, the final caller, because, you called in from the 716 before I hit that lock button. So I'm going to let you be the final caller. 716, you're live.
Law Nation, what's good with you, man?
All is well, man. I can't complain.
This is Mike, man, calling from Buffalo, yo.
Mike.
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay, from New York, Buffalo. So tell Diggs, man, Stephon Diggs, come on down, man, with a Jerry Jones type of price.
Yo, man, as a longtime Cowboy fan, man. Yo, listen, man. All we need to do is add on to the squad that we had, man. We don't really need to make no whole changes. I agree with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Zeke will take a pay cut. We can just add a little speed at the receiver, man. Somebody that's dependable can help CeeDee Lamb out, man. Are we good to go, man? Like fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you saying speed at wide receiver, right? Zeke taking the pay cut. What about a duty cut too? Like, instead of starting off with Ezekiel Elliott, since if he taking a pay cut, it's going to have to be south of $10 million, right? That will ultimately make Tony Pollard the highest paid running back. So will it be better for Tony Pollard to open it up and then have Ezekiel Elliott as your relief back?
No, I think they should keep it the way it was.
Keep it the way it is,
okay. Pollard's more effective when he comes in and, when Zeke pound him away and then he come in and use the speed,
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, with that, man, our line, look at it. When we hand the ball off to a lot of our running backs, man, they don't get nowhere because there's penetration. Our lines don't be holding up on the run block too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing. You can't just say, well, Zeke only getting 2 yards. But why is he getting 2 yards? It's a team sport. The line is not holding up. There's too much penetration at most times, man. You know what I'm saying? Zeke is a hell of a back, man. You know what I'm saying? He's more than just the running back, man. He's basically the heart of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
he's moving a little bit with injuries the last couple of years and whatnot, man. But at the same time, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to give that man some help, man. The Lions got to protect and block, man.
Yeah. I mean, you 1,000% right on that. When we go back to week 1 of the NFL and we think about the offensive line and how they played, look, no quarterback would have been able to survive. So our offensive line, they was chipping in, they were keying in on us, and they got us killed. They did. So yeah, you're right. You're 1,000% right with your assessment with that. Get the better offensive line. Understand that those are the things that we need to do better at.
When's the last time the Cowboys had a receiver that people have to respect, that can take the top off? I'm not saying a good route runner. I mean, got to respect that speed. We ain't had one of those in a long, long time.
Amen.
We need speed, man. That speed kills, man. You know what I'm saying? With the team we have some speed to add on to what we already have, make teams respect. They got to, stay back, man. That's when our run game is going to be more effective. You don't have safeties coming up in the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
we don't have the threat. We don't have the threat at receiver, man. That's going to beat you deep. You know what I'm saying? We got guys who catch the ball in front. You know what I mean? Do the run after catch. But we don't have speed at receiver. That's what we lacking. For years we've been like that.
Yes, indeed, man. We're going to have to find a way to get some speed out there. It may be in-house. I don't think there's a person in the NFC East that's faster than Cavante Turpin, right? So let's utilize Turpin more.
The coaching was sleeping the whole time. The man barely comes in the game. When he come in there, it's like a decoy. Give the man the ball and let him create and do things.
Yes, indeed. Yep, man. I appreciate you for calling in, Mike, man. You great call from you, fam.
Yo, Law, keep doing your thing, man. I watch you every day, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
One love, man. Go Cowboys.
Yeah, go Cowboys. All right, so that's Mike, y'all. Put your hands together for him. He did a wonderful call about this whole conversation. All right, so I'm going to answer Gina's question, but let me get back over here to this highlight. Pay attention, and I'm not sullying nor denigrating number 20. But, yes, he's a better back as it relates to when the ball get his hand. But look at what 45 did to him, man. Just pay attention to 45, what he do to 20. Yeah. Now, he did a good job of getting outside on that one. But pay attention to this first sack. Look what 20. Yep. Okay. All right. And then pay attention to 20 here. You know what I'm saying? All right. So what I'm saying is get out of the way. Yeah. I don't want your quarterback to get killed, man. I like what 20 can do. I like what Tony Pollard brings to the table. I truly believe that Tony Pollard is a dynamic guy. But when it's come down to the pinch of blocking, you're going to see him get thrown out of the club. Shout out to you, Matt Batten. O-line is smacked around. It's sad to watch. So, yeah, it is sad to watch, man. Gina says, Law, if given $1 billion, what 3 things would you spend it on to help Dallas achieve a successful season? Now, with that being said, Gina, if Law is given $1 billion, all of a sudden you will hear this news right here. Breaking news, Law Nation is now gone on a sabbatical. He will be back in about 3 months. He'll be back. And then after I clear my mind, right, and I have my thoughts together, and if I'm in control of this team, first and foremost, there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. And I would try to bring forth the brightest minds of football, right? And I would try to bring forth the greatest winning philosopher, winning percentages and things like that. Bill Belichick would be in the house. Jimmy Johnson would be back. I would put Jimmy Johnson in the ring of honor. You know what I'm saying? I would figure out ways to make sure that we correct all wrongs, right? And then from there, as far as that $1 billion, the 3 things that I would spend it on to help the Dallas Cowboys to achieve successful season. Oh my gosh. 3 things. First and foremost, it won't be enough money, unfortunately, to buy out the Cowboys, right? It's about $8 billion. That's where it starts at. And I think it would end at $15 billion. So I need $15 billion. So I need 14 more $14 billion, right, to buy out the Cowboys. And the number one thing would be adding a legitimate coaching staff. But here's my thoughts. I think Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn are legitimate enough, right? Just give them full control. I'll sit back. I would immediately elevate Will McClay as the general manager. That's the number 2 thing. Because you can't have the man that's doing all of the job as the general manager, but not getting recognition as the general manager. So that would be my second thing. And number 3 thing I would do is I would look at my contracts and I will make all of my contracts scalable for the salary cap, knowing that this $111 billion deal is about to creep in, right? And knowing that the $50 billion sports betting gambling situation is about to creep in. I would look at my contracts. I will sit down with my players and tell them, hey, we about to extend you, give you some money up front or restructure some of that money to cover some of the costs so that I can spill over some of this stuff as it relates to salary cap. And I'm talking to my people and I'm bringing in playmakers. I'm bringing in a DeAndre Hopkins, or I'm bringing in the Odell Beckhams just for tryouts and workouts. And then I'm picking up the phone and we're trying to make some trade deals to help this wide receiver core out. I'm trying to help out this running back situation with the offensive line, and I'm trying to re-solidify the defense from the interior. I'm working my way from the interior on out. That would be my philosophy. Every year I'm working on core to the outer edges. So that's just how my thoughts is. Hey, we align everything up and we would get things going in that perspective. I appreciate you, Gina. Law, please save your money wisely. We want to be the owners. We want you to be the owner. DC for life, man. You know what? That would be nice if I'm the owner. But O-line is smacked around. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Matt Batten. It's smacked around, and it's sad to watch. You're right, Matt. It's one of those things, and we'll figure it out. Law for president. Thank you so much, Gina, with the J. All right. So with that being said, if there are other content creators out there live right now, be sure to check them out, follow their content, let them know what we got going on over here too, by the way. But I would tell you guys that running an organization is not an easy thing. I know those guys in the Jones administrations and what have you, they make it look easy, right? They doing all type of pressers and they got stuff that goes on. They got stuff that goes on that we can't see. And we do know collusions and all of that stuff is prevalent. We do know that, right? We understand that. We can see how these 32 owners, 32 billionaires would get together, and it's like Monopoly. It's a game to them. That's why it's a secret club. Only certain people can get into that grouping. They wouldn't want me in there. They'll vote me up out of there, because I'll make some stuff shake, But then they'll do this to me, and I'll probably like, all right, cool, all right. That revenue sharing is something real. That way you don't really get the chance to see the true nature of it. How can you give someone who got everything something, right? That's what billionaires are. They pretty much got everything. Winning the Super Bowl is only for pride for them. It's everything for us. They can say, yeah, man, we all about winning. But when everybody's handed the same check, what difference does it make? So I would break down those revenue sharings. I would look at it and say every tub must sit on its own bottom. That's old folks. But one thing I know for sure, they say for the love of money is the root of all evils. But also when you read a little bit further, money answereth all things. And they got answers to some solutions. They make money and they gonna want more money. If you think I'm lying, create you a YouTube page and put one of those NFL highlight videos up and watch how long it'll stand up before the NFL claim the rights to that video to make more and more money. They got enough money to allow content creators to use broadcasting video footage, but they refuse. That's just the reality of it. So that's why they love the money. For the love of money. Gotta make that money, man. But let me tell you about heart and desire. Things that's more precious than any money, any coin that's out there, and it's time. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that it don't get in the way of things. And if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it. If you just focus your mind on those things. How hungry are you? I told this person the other day, I got a PhD. They was looking for something tangible. But I told them I got a poor, hungry, and determined type of spirit to make things happen. That's why at the end of my videos, if you ever listen closely, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Time is everything. Boy, oh boy. What Michael Jackson would do to have your time. The other fallen soldiers that made an impact to this world. What would they do if they had your time? So always relish and cherish your time. Until next time. Let's close out with my guy,
Sacrifice,
Uncle Charles.
give up and fight. Everything will be alright on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday, yeah.
We about, baby, Uncle Charles. And roll those credits. Roll Tide too, by the way. Let's go. Shout out to you, Matt. Shout out to you, Sadiq. One love. See y'all tonight on the Final Word Draft Edition.
Check or something. I've been really in the field, letter, yeah.
Come on.
I've been really in the field, letter, rush, I let her feel lately.
I just wanna run it up.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal lately. I just wanna run it up.
Oh, they didn't put all of the people that supported. So I'm gonna go try to find the people who gave support today. Bear with me. Hey.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens,
Need them fives.
to the safe, got blues inside.
Come on.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play.
Charge it to the game.
I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend.
Who will lost?
I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now.
Come on.
Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Come on.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment.
All right.
You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it.
Hey.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this.
Nothing real as
Can't
this,
trust a soul, I
baby.
keep a hammer,
Call it too legit.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel lately.
I just wanna run it up.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal lately. I just wanna run it up.
Come on.
Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome.
Come on.
Too many foes and clothes.
Hey.
Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on
roll along.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Time to check a song. Lately, I just wanna
Bear with me. Hail Mary. Trying to get y'all in line. Those who supported the channel and everything. So y'all bear with me. Lately, I just want to run it up. All right. And boom, filter. Y'all bear with me. Boom. Hail Mary. Run with me. What do we have here now? Well, my ride or dies. Ride da 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 da. Come on. Slow it down just for a little bit. Boom. Hey. All right. All right, so we had Coach Marv. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Big win. Thank you for your support. Ed Strickland, thank you so much for your support. Matt Batten, man, you've been out of your mind with all of those donations, man, and I really appreciate you for your support. Jay SoCal, appreciate you, man. Thank you so for all what you do. Common Sense Lab, I appreciate you, man, so much, man. My heart goes out to you and your entire family, man. Especially you touched me the other week when you told me your story, Common Sense Lab, and I'm glad that I'm able to help you along your way. DC for Life, appreciate you. Philip Henderson, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. And Matt Batten, man, I appreciate you guys. Let's see. What that update now? Oh, yeah, that looks better now when you hit that update. Yeah. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Thank y'all so much. Let's get on up out of here. Let me see some blue hearts on the way out. One love, much love to y'all, too. Turn me up. And another one. Hey, come on. Oh, schedule times. Monday through Friday, Law Nation show. I'm trying to be more organized with my time, and I'm split in between the two. So be sure between the hours of 11 and 1, Law will be live every day, Monday through Friday. And turn your notification bells on, especially on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays. It's just whenever I get time. It's always whenever I get time, by the way. But I really thank y'all so much. I love y'all to the moon and back on helping me get to 97K. Let's continue to grind. Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far.
Boom.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Blake, thank you for the 200 stars, and as well as Jermaine Underwood. You know, thank you for the support too as we getting on out of here on the Facebook side. I'm trying to work with Facebook to update their their feedback over here on the OBS platform. So charge it to my head, not my heart, if you guys are donating there and I'm not able to see it. But we'll figure it out one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. We about.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things
Go get Jalen Ramsey, man. I forgot to talk about that today. Go get him. Go get Jalen Ramsey.
I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Y'all want everybody at Cowboys. Yeah, I want to win. Who you don't want, Law? I don't want no L's. And if anybody got a problem with that, this is Law Nation.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I knew I would have one Eagle fan in here. Say, no, have a problem with this. You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go birds fly, Eagles fly,
Now I can go, baby. Lord, leave us alone, Lord. At least we made it to the Super Bowl. The last time y'all made it to the Super Bowl, well, the last time y'all made it to the Super Bowl, you didn't have facial hair, Lord. But one thing I know for sure, I don't know what it feels like to lose in the Super Bowl, because I wasn't born when we lost in the Super Bowl. So I'd rather have the feelings that I have now.
Like this motherfucker. Be your biggest fan.
No, he's
and
good. That motherfucker don't
really
miss,
tough and they're
man.
really
He's
rough.
good. In the heat of battle.
Shout out to Monte.
I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Feel good, don't it? Yeah, that's good. Get out of here, hater. Law, we living rent free. Well, rent free this. Oh, he's dead.
Fatality.
Oh my gosh. Better luck next time, huh? Shout out to you, Sadiq. Let's go get Will. Let's go get him. I don't know if he can drop to the 26th spot. Maybe you can shove a gun under the seat with him. And he'll drop. Will Anderson will drop to the 26th. And we can get him in the silver and blue. That would be nice. Until next time.
I ain't trying to be like 30 years ago. I ain't trying to make no comeback. I'm gone, and I want to stay gone.